Let's begin in the Volta region. The absence of computers in schools for the teaching of ICT remains a major threat to education in remote areas of Ghana. A little over a month ago, some school children in the central region were seen improvising a computer mouse with a stone during their ICT lesson. At Bomigo, an island in the Keta municipality of the Volta region today, teachers have had to use clay to mold computers and its accessories to be able to teach their pupils ICT effectively. Ivy Setoji visited the island and has come through with this report.
Bomigo is totally surrounded by water. The town is best known for the large deposits of clay, but that is not the only unique thing about this community. They also have no access to electricity, a situation residents say is adversely affecting development there. The school located in this island is dilapidated, and like many across the country, there are not enough teaching materials for teachers to use. As a result, teachers here are forced to improvise. A case in point is the teaching of ICT.
You plug it here before you can use it. And this is what we call cordless mouse. All of you?
Cordless mouse.
Cordless mouse.
Cordless mouse.
Or wireless mouse.
Cordless mouse.
It has no cord. I hope you can see the cord for this one.
Yes.
And this one, it has no cord. That's why we call it what? Cordless mouse. Again, cordless mouse.
There are no computers and accessories here for ICT lessons. The teacher uses his single laptop to lead the teaching, and the pupils have to imagine what computers are by, relying on computer accessories like keyboard molded of clay. One of the teachers I spoke to, Thomas Ahiabo, believes relying on clay molded computer accessories, although not the best, is the best they can do under the circumstances.
And sometimes I make use of the one laptop for the basics class 1 to 6 also. And most of the times my battery ran down. I only use it for 30 minutes, then it will run down. I have to go and look for light because the place I'm teaching, there's no lights. And we have only power band for the use of the laptop, but we don't have the inverter on it. So for now, we are not making use of it. And the children find it difficult to learn using one laptop because they have to practice. So it's only one person who can use the laptop. The rest, they'll be idle, looking, playing around. You have to control, tell them to keep quiet. So I told them to mobilize using mat, to mobilize laptop, mobile phone, power band, anything related to ICT. And they did that, and we used it in the class. And they did the laptop using mat. They created the keyboards on it, the function keys, the bottom row keys, the upper keys, the case lock, and everything.
We find it difficult to learn ICT because we don't have laptop.
Our school our building structure is not good. As you can see, as here, this was constructed by the community. Okay. So, as the only problem we have here too, the community, we don't have any government work also here. We are pleading the government to come and assist us.
Residents here want government to come to their aid and help develop the numerous tourist sites they have here, including the scenic mangroves. According to them, developing these sites could transform the community and make it possible for them to buy enough ICT teaching equipment to save the children this regressive teaching and learning experience. Reporting from Bomigo, Ivy Setoji for Joy News.
Now, in the northern region, residents of Gumani in that part of the country are appealing to the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly to step up work on the storm drain under construction. The storm drains are expected to help reduce the impact of the perennial flooding and loss of lives in the area during the rainy season. Their call comes at the back of Tuesday's heavy downpour that claimed 4 lives, submerged homes and rendered many homeless in the metropolis. Joy News' Hashmin Mohammed visited the most hit community in the immediate aftermath of the flood in the Tamale metropolis and reports how an abandoned storm drain system in the area worsened the flood situation.
In 2014, the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly initiated the construction of a drainage system in the Gumani community to remedy perennial flooding. The construction of the drain is a project under the Ghana Urban Management Project, GUMP. The GUMP project was made possible under a Ghana-France collaboration with a €40 million loan secured from the French Development Agency, AFD. It's been 4 years since work started. Residents say they are yet to feel the impact of the project.
We were expecting that with the completion of this project, there will be no flooding. But at the moment, it has compounded. So this work is as best it was not even begun at all.
Yesterday rain, it really caused a lot of harm on us because it spoiled a lot of things. It carries away our materials and animals, especially we those near to the gutter.
That's my house. That's where I live. You know, when you look at this place too, they finished the first part of the contract. When they finished, instead of them to cover the lapses of they couldn't. The cutter was not full, but the sizes were full. So we are pleading to them to come and just cover the sizes. And when you look at the chips here and the kiosks here, it has given to another contractor to come and start the second phase of the project.
Public Relations Officer of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly, Issa Musa, tells Joy News the project has not been abandoned as perceived by residents.
The project is not abandoned. As a matter of fact, that is the first phase that has been finished. The second phase will even make provision for a storm drain. If residents can turn every open drain and every available public space into a dumping place for household refuse or a public place of convenience, what do you expect? And they just do that even with objects such as stones, which they use to clean themselves after easing themselves. And over a period, the assembly moves into the silt these drains because they get silted in the process. And then we have floods, and we want to put the blame squarely on the doors of the assembly. I think that we refuse to accept blame.
For Joy News, a Hashmin Mohammed report from Gumani.
Now, there's a looming epidemic of mango bacterial black spot disease in Ghana as an outbreak is reported in Kintampo in the Bono Ahafo region. A plant pathologist at the Crop Research Institute says the disease has been detected in some parts of the country in the last 7 years. Zipporah Apiakubi was addressing mango farmers at Kintampo in the Bono Ahafo region. Kwesi Debra was there and brings us this report.
Bacterial black spot, often referred to as BBS, attacks mango trees, weakens the branches and causes fruits to drop prematurely. Once the disease breaks out in an area, it spreads very fast. Here is plant pathologist Zipporah Apiakubi.
The disease has been in Africa, some part of Central Africa, and then Southern Africa, like Kenya, and then South Africa. But in our sub-region, West Africa, it was detected only in 2010 in 3 countries, Ghana, Burkina Faso, and then Mali. And then in Ghana, specifically, it was found in the northern region, Tamale. And that time, it wasn't too severe. Then 2 years' time, 2012, it was seen in the Bono Ahafo, Kintampo, Techima area. And that time, it was reported about 70% of the land used for mango has been affected.
Mango farmer at Kintampo, Samuel Afranimo, has an unpleasant experience.
I got about 40% of my produce because of the BBS. All of the fruits fell within a short time. In a matter of about 2 weeks, they were all fallen down.
Another farmer and victim of the BBS, Abna, resorted to chemicals to check the spread.
When the disease set in my farm, I started spraying with copper-based fungicide. And I used different fungicide every fortnight. And I started that from as early as October, first week in October, till flowering stage. Then I stopped. So when fruit set, I continued spraying with copper-based fungicide. And because of that, because I continued spraying till April, I did not see symptoms of BBS on my farm.
Earlier this month, an outbreak was detected in Kintampo and nearby areas. The Council for Scientific and Industrial Research is here to discuss preventive measures with farmers. Scientists warn BBS is now a major threat to mango plantations in Ghana.
2015, the disease was again seen at the eastern region, Dodowa, and then Somenya. So it means that from the northern region, 2010, the disease is spreading down south in Ghana. That is why we want to tell farmers to take fact the best preventive method to use disease-free or seedlings that are free from the disease, BBS. Because the disease has been here for not for a long time, we have so many seedlings that do not have the disease. So we are advising farmers to use seedlings that are free from the disease, and then also use manual preventive measures like good hygiene in their farms, and then pruning, doing the proper pruning, use the proper method to do pruning so that they don't open up the trees for other infection to start.
Now, a scientist at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has discovered a local plant for cheaper production of omega-3 eggs. Dr. Jacob Alhassan of the Department of Animal Science says the discovery will also produce the eggs at a cheaper cost. He was speaking at a community outreach at Apiedu Kokobing in Kumasi. Kwesi Debra reports.
Dr. Hamidu is the brain behind the omega-3 eggs project in Ghana. Dr. Hamidu presently uses flaxseed oil, which contains omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential for brain development. It also has potential to help reduce cardiovascular diseases in adults. He aspires to make the designer eggs more accessible, especially to rural children. Dr. Hamidu wants government to incorporate omega-3 eggs into the school feeding program. He says such a move will provide jobs along the poultry value chain. Dr. Hamidu says he's looking forward for government funding to expand egg production from the local plant and advocates government to take on such a project.
So between the years 2014 and 2016, a graduate student was put on the project, and we formulated a poultry diet based on flaxseed oil. And we gave it to the bears at 20 weeks of production until they were out of production around 70 weeks. These chickens started laying the omega-3 eggs because of the special feed that we were giving to them. So these are the eggs that we call the designer eggs. As part of this project, if we have proved the concept, we need to sensitize the population about the benefit of eggs in general and then this omega-3 eggs. And today we have used a drama to showcase the benefit of eggs. And as part of this, somebody came from outside to fund this project. What the government can do now, we have identified a particular plant in Ghana which can be used to do the enrichment and make the production of the eggs cheaper. And so we need government support. We are submitting proposals to organizations outside again, but the government, seeing this as a project that is beneficial to our national development, should come and support it. So government can best go on, and under the school feeding program, they can instruct that a child should eat 1 egg a day. If a child is going to eat 1 egg a day, they can sign a contract with the poultry farmers to produce these special eggs and supply to the schools.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Debra.
Still to come, we'll take you live to Parliament to hear from the former Deputy Minister of Power, John Jinapor, on that latest search of his home by some fully armed police officers as part of investigations into the controversial Ameri power deal. Details shortly. Now, before we go to Parliament, hundreds of the 2017-2018 National Service personnel are wasting lots of long man hours in winding queues at the Accra Metro Registration Centre just to be able to go through a biometric process. Some have had to get to the centre as early as 2 a.m. but are still not guaranteed of a successful registration as the officials only deal with 400 people daily. They believe the centre is made up of many service personnel and the inadequate devices for the biometric registration has compounded their woes. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba was there and has come through with this report.
This is my third time of being here, and today I came yesterday. They said they are giving card so that we come tomorrow. So I came here this dawn, 3:30. I was in the queue. We were here, and the policeman came that he was listing a list. After the card yesterday, they wrote names. So it means that if your name is not on the list today, it means you can't register today. They will write another name, then we come on Monday. So we are in the queue waiting for our names to also be written so that we come on Monday. True, Monday people were collapsing, and the police people too were beating us, and a whole tedious work on Monday. So I couldn't register on Monday. I went back and came Tuesday, like 2 a.m. I was here. So I was able to
You came here at 2 a.m.?
Yes, 2 a.m. on Tuesday.
The journey to serve Mother Ghana begins now for these prospective National Service personnel. They've gathered here in their hundreds, all of them ready to go through the registration process that would begin their journey to serve the country. But that comes with its own challenges and hurdles that they would have to cross. Lots of them here have to wait in long, winding queues for many hours. Some of them not even getting the opportunity to get closer to the biometric registration device that would pick their fingerprints and other important bio data. They contend that if loads of laptops were provided for the National Service Secretariat, they could have done this in a speedy manner. They are not too excited about standing and enduring the sweat here in these queues.
This is my third time of being here. I was here on Monday, Tuesday, and today. Monday, I got here as early as 4 a.m. And also, it's like you're trying to be patriotic to your country by having the national service. You are serving the nation, but it's like it's national suffering, as some of them will say, because the hell you have to go through, the stress. This thing could be done online because they have our details. We registered earlier. They have our details. So why don't we just do this thing online to at least save us some stress? They decentralized the system with the Accra Metro. They decentralized the system now. We had zones, some Ladma, there is some just here, across here. Like, they've done all with the decentralization, but you know, Accra Metro, like, it's choked, it's stuffy. So I think they can do something more about Accra Metro.
Okay. There are over 200 people here at 1 a.m. Yes, and I called again at 5 o'clock and I was told a little over 400. So clearly, that prevented me from coming. Today is actually my first time. I came and then I'm done with the submission of the appointments letter, left with the biometric registration. But just like my sister here said, for Accra Metro, you know that clearly it perhaps is the most busiest place in this country. We have all the offices, the department, ministries here. And so you don't expect, and I can tell you that out of the 91,000 people who are expected to serve, I can tell you that for Accra Metro, we're not having less than 15,000. And so you don't expect us to just within the period of a month, no scheduling, and you expect us all to come in a scheduled manner. I think moving forward, what the Secretariat should consider is actually scheduling that if, let's say, we have 15,000 and we are using a month for the registration, you can schedule that, let's say, a day we are having 200, and you actually listed them and send them messages to that effect.
Now, a team of fully armed police officers are said to have searched the Tema home of former Deputy Power Minister John Jinapor. The search is said to be in connection with police investigation into the over $500 million AmeriPower deal to supply the country with 250 megawatts of electricity. There had been earlier searches in the homes of former Power Minister Dr. Kwabena Donkor and the technical advisor at the then Power Ministry. Mr. Jinapor said the officers took away his mobile phone and also requested to see his laptop. Let's cross over to Parliament, where our correspondent Joseph Opoku Gakpo is standing by with the latest. Joseph, you have been interacting with the Member of Parliament. What more have you gathered on the raid?
Well, he tells us that it all happened this morning around 7 a.m., just when he was about stepping out from his residence and leaving, by his security people, that the armed police persons have come around and that they are looking for him. He will allow them in because at a point in time they showed him a court warrant that indicated that they had the authority to come search his office, to come search his residence. He says that they were looking for documents on the AmeriPower deal. He told them that he has no such documents and that he left all the necessary documents in the Power Ministry office before he left, that particular position. But while they still came in and searched, they didn't find any of the documents. At a point in time, they asked him to hand over his laptop, and he said that he doesn't have any at home. What he has is one that was given to him from Parliament, and so it's in Parliament House, and so they wouldn't have that. But they insisted on taking his mobile phone as well. They said that they needed to get some information of it, and so he was asked to take off the SIM card in the mobile phone, and they took the mobile phone away. He said they additionally gave him a letter indicating that on Monday at 1 o'clock, he should show up at the police headquarters. He says that the third letter is signed by one Bright Joe from the CID headquarters in Accra, and so he's been invited there. He's not sure whether he would attend that particular meeting because he knows that there is a budget review activity that will be happening on the floor of Parliament on that day. But what I can tell you again is that the Minority Caucus has just been meeting. The meeting ended a while ago in the Job 600 here in Parliament. I had a brief conversation with the Minority Caucus, Muntaka Mubarak, and he tells me that this is an issue that they would be raising on the floor of Parliament any moment from now as part of the push to draw the Speaker's attention to this and demand that it comes to an end, because it's coming on the back of a similar search in the residence of Dr. Kwabena Donkor, who is also a member of the minority and also a sitting member of Parliament.
So beyond the meeting that the minority is having, what else is happening in Parliament today?
It's expected that the health minister will be appearing to respond to a number of questions relating to the establishment of health facilities across the country. The sitting itself is beginning any moment from now, and so we'll be expecting the health minister. Also, we will be expecting that if the Speaker so wishes, the whole controversial motion seeking to get the AmeriPower deal rescinded when it comes to the parliamentary approval it got in 2015, that's also expected on the floor of Parliament, all other things being equal.
Right, thank you very much, Joseph Opoku Gakpo. He's our man in Parliament. They're bringing us the latest with those issues with Mary. Now, moving on, more Africans in the diaspora continue to trace their roots to Ghana to reconnect with their relatives after decades of losing contact with them. Some of them who have returned and have successfully connected with their families at Elmina are promising to be good ambassadors of their hometowns and help in their development. Paramount Chief of Edina Traditional Area, Nana Kojo Kondia, has been performing rituals to receive his subjects back to their roots. Richard Kojo Nyako has more for Joy News.
For the returnees, it was a great and a solemn moment for them to be back home. They shed tears of joy as they vowed to help contribute to the development of their respective communities. The Omahin of Edina Traditional Area, Nana Kojo Kondia, who welcomed the diasporans back home, expressed his utmost delight in the reunification. He requested the now indigents of Elmina to focus on education, health and sanitation.
Mama wa said that how be waya ahoho wo fihara na wa krai na wa asa na wa aba nti wa aba da na wa be fie so wa be fie so da na mama na akwa aba. I
want to make them understand that they are no more strangers on this land. They came from this land. They left us and they have returned. This is their home. I am using this opportunity to welcome them back. I want them to understand that where they came from is far developed than what they have come to me.
Those can one and Humasuya Obaboyan, what the photo back to Yan and Humasuyanim, yet to me that boy about 10 binuma, 1 hour home on to
We pray for their support in the area of education. An educational foundation can support some of the needy parents. In the area of health and sanitation, we seriously need their help.
It's a master one so Wababoan and Zama Yabotum Yadaye once a Juma, me chrono no more watso. I Ednanko Obesan me incro and Kenny Hinala.
The returnees pledged their support to help the Elmina town as they have started moves to kickstart some of the projects.
We are extremely, as a team, we are committed to Ghana through our organization we have here now called A Wealth of Women Ghana. So everything that you have asked us with respect to the appeal, know that we are committed to help in any way that we can. One of our major focus is education, health and wellness, right, and self-empowerment. So we are here in Ghana for that reason. We are committed from the U.S. We are so grateful to be on this land. You have no idea how many years we wanted to come back and be a part of, the African privilege. Because we come from America where they have white privilege, but in that space in America, we really don't have privilege, even as African Americans. So the best place for us to be is back on the home of our ancestors. So we are so happy to be here. So on behalf of our entire team here, Vincent Curtis and Dr. Wesley Bryant, know that the appeal has not fallen on deaf ears. We will absolutely, positively, unequivocally commit to providing help in any way that we can. So thank you so much.
The Mahin of Edna traditional area, Nana Kodukondia, performed rituals to receive them back to his land and also pray for the protection and the blessings of the gods for them.
So that's it from this bulletin. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com.